Tom Verducci has a vote. We talk Hall of Fame all the time. What did you make of Barry Bonds' recent comments, Tom?
Sounds like the Hall of Fame is pretty important to him, right? I mean, he didn't get through on the writers, gets passed to the committee, Contemporary Era Committee, and they shoot him down with very little support, by the way. So it's not just a writer's issue. It's very difficult to get a preponderance of people, I'm talking about obviously 75% to clear the bar to get into the Hall of Fame, who can agree that doing steroids is okay. Essentially, you're condoning the fact that guys made some really bad choices, and you're going to look the other way and say, no, whatever you did is okay by me. Some people can do that. I'm fine with that. But the majority, or at least the preponderance of people, are not really going to sign on to that. And that's just the way the world is.
I think especially for those who lived through it. I think there are some voters now who didn't live through it, who are a little younger, might say, wasn't it all corrupt? Wasn't everybody on this stuff? And those who lived through it say, well, no, it was not loosey-goosey, because Barry did say, hey, there were no rules back then. There were rules back then.
There were absolutely rules.
Absolutely.
And that's a great point, by the way, because I always think about when I get that ballot in my hand, all the players who talk to me, I'm talking about 1990, 2000, 2001, before there were quote-unquote rules, how unfair the game was. Because their choice was to do something they were either ethically opposed to or do something that really harmed their bodies, to be on a competitive, equal playing field. Right. That was a bad position to put other players in. And I think about those players, not just the players who made the decision. It's like Dan Nolte said. He was a pitcher, journeyman guy. His velocity went way up with steroids. He said, don't let anybody fool you. We all knew it was wrong when we made that decision.
Right. Well put. Looking ahead on the ballot, Beltray, Utley, Joe Mauer, where are you? I know you haven't finalized your
Man, this feels like walking into class and, hey, we got a pop quiz today. I didn't study. It takes so much. You know what it's like. You put all the research
and you have
on
time.
These guys.
You have
Top
time.
of the head, though, I would say yes on Joe Mauer. I know a lot of his career was at first base, but I still think winning those batting titles, catching the way he did, the career average, my gut reaction is probably yes. Utley, I've always thought was a little bit short. You know, a little bit, he had that kind of Carlos Baerga, Juan Samuel, that run where you thought of him as one of the great second basemen of the game. Are the counting numbers enough for Chase Utley? I have really good...
Tom, he was greater than that, though. Like, you were watching him play game by game. His base running is...
One of the best second basemen of the game. Juan Samuel was for a while, and Carlos Baerga was for a while.
He's much better than those guys.
I'm saying in those moments, yes. Injuries really, really hurt Chase Utley.
Yes, second half of his career, right.
Yeah. So is there enough volume there? That to me is what's going on.
Can I just throw, I don't go all by WAR, but the WAR number is the cumulative production. It's 64. If you're over 60, you're usually a Hall of Famer. And his peak was stellar, right? You agree with that? I mean, maybe he's a peak Hall of Fame guy.
Scott Rowland was at 70 WAR.
Yeah, and he's going in.
Had bigger counting numbers, and he's in.
And he's going in.
So Utley is a step below that. How much more do you want to keep going down in WAR and volume?
I'm thinking greatness. Now, I'm just going to divorce myself from the numbers, which I can back it up. Utley is a great player.
You have a very good argument with that. Yeah. Absolutely.
So more.
Hey, listen, I may wind up voting for you. I'm giving you gut reaction here.
Okay.
And maybe there's enough there.
I'll help sell you on that. All right, top five from last year, because that's all. So the new guys coming on, that's a strong first-year class. Beltray, obviously. We don't have to discuss that.
Absolutely.
But here you go. Helton, Wagner, Andrew Jones. Last year for Gary Sheffield, by the way, and then Carlos Beltran. Where are you on these guys?
Yeah, I actually voted for Helton last year for the first time. I was really digging deep into the home-road splits. And then I said, you know what? Adjusted OPS really does that for me.
Yep.
And I looked at his numbers, 9,000 plate appearances with a 133 OPS plus. All those guys not connected to steroids are in the Hall of Fame. So he should be in the Hall of Fame. And Billy Wagner should be in the Hall of Fame.
Good.
And I know he doesn't have the innings total, right? He's less than 1,000. But for anybody who's pitched 900 innings, he was as dominant as you can find.
He was great. Wasn't good? He was great.
Yes.
Right.
The strikeout rates, the batting average against. He did what he was asked to do, which was be a one-inning closer, as well as someone could do at that time in terms of depressing offense.
Right.
So, yeah, I vote for Wagner as well.